Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the famous Duenas podcast. I am your host, Duane, aka I am Duenas. And one of the many potential guests we have right now is Miss Ajaya Divine. Say what up to the people.
Hey, peace. How y'all doing out here?
So this topic that we're going to discuss today is we're talking about how the media is instigating a race war. If you have been under a rock or smoking wax or looking at this from the future in some sort of time capsule, things are wild right now. Oh, here comes my boy. Let's go. Yes, sir. What's good? He's connected with the audio and shit. But yeah, so we were just talking about how, with the past situations as far as what's been going on in the news, they shown all of these, symbolic black victories and all of these, things make black people feel warm and fuzzy inside and make, white people feel a little irritated.
There he goes. I don't know, and I can hear this guy through my phone.
Yo.
There he goes.
Yo, what's good?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Not much.
You using your government name or what you using, sir?
Sorry, I'm just finally getting home myself.
Yeah, just to let you know we're recording right now, and also, whatever you say, I don't edit shit, so just stand on it. So, like I said, I'm not. You can introduce yourself because I'm not sure if you want to put your government out there, anything like that.
Yeah. On IG, Cesar. I mean, gonna be changed though. I gotta find a better name. I don't got a brand yet. But just a long time shadow warrior. We don't we don't like to expose ourselves too much.
Yeah, so you're not doing a video. You're just doing you want some real catfish in the bunker shit right now?
Oh, I'm just catfishing, bro. I'm catfishing right now. Hold on. I don't even know how the Zoom thing works, bro. It's my first time on it, man. Extra nervous for this shit. Hold on, let's see how this works.
It should say something on the lower. Wow, my nigga sitting in the dark like a creep.
Wow,
oh,
look at me. Yo, I don't want to be seen, bro. We out here inconspicuous with this shit.
This nigga part of Anonymous.
Now you know what it is?
Q. Ain't that what they call them?
QAnon or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, ain't that what they call? I think that nigga's a plant.
Hold on. I dig it though. I like it. Hey, fuck it.
I definitely, definitely dig it, but
I'm trying to get y'all louder.
So we can hear you.
Yeah, you can definitely hear you. Loud as shit. So yeah. So as we were just talking about, we just started. We're talking about how the media is definitely instigating a race war kind of thing going on. They're showing a lot of different aspects that'll make black people feel warm and fuzzy inside, and at the same time give white people that jock itch. So the extremists are seeing this stuff, and they're just especially people tearing down the Confederate statues and stuff like that, and it's that's part of our history.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You know what else is about that? I just something about just it's funny you mentioned that. I don't think we're ever gonna get rid of that. We still have those same owners or those same Confederate people and Union on our dollar bills.
Exactly. I'm like, y'all act like slavery wasn't the whole fucking country. So what is the Confederate?
I mean, who's the biggest one? Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson, the biggest one. He was for the people. He helped with the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, he's a white R. Kelly.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. We can't beat that. How we have many kids who our color, light skin, dark skin. He claimed the formula. He's the first one to adopt black babies. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's real truth. We're not gonna say that it's real truth, but I'm just saying, all the kids that he has, quote unquote, he was pretty much like the Genghis Khan for the white guys.
Yeah, he's a ass nigga. Anyway, so we have it's just goofy shit that if you pay attention, if you just know a little something, if you're just above an idiot, just a tier above a complete idiot, you'll be like, nah, this don't sit right. So, we have all of these things going on. And while this is going on, I think there's up to 5 people that have been lynched. It might be more. I'm not sure yet. I think it was 2 in California, 1 in Houston, 1 in New York. Maybe, I think it might be 2 in New York. I'm not 100% sure.
It's still legal to lynch in Texas. I don't know about New York. I don't know about New York. That's just something. That's some blasphemy. California, I'm not too sure the laws in California. There are still, that is still a heavily brown populated state.
Mm-hmm.
There's more brown people there that I don't even know. There's more brown people than black people out there. I have no idea what the laws placed upon them are. That's a whole.
Because that was fucking Mexico. That's why it's more brown people there. Niggas stole it and called it like niggas. They was there. Y'all just claimed it. It was like, hey, y'all ours now. Like they claimed the land and the people.
That is kind of bugged out how Mexicans are like, basically like sneaking into their own country to steal their shit back, like OJ.
Oh yeah. Well, only certain parts, right? They don't really want too much. They really just want Arizona, New Mexico, Texas back, and California. They don't really care for everywhere else. But a lot of
niggas they got family there. It's like, hey, how y'all just go
and they're just like us.
Hell, it's a lot of extra dark Mexicans in Mexico. Like,
it's a lot
for
of
all intents and purposes. Yeah, I was like, for all intents and purposes, they've had black presidents. Like, that most people will look at him and say, oh, that's a black man, even if he's south of the border. Like, it's weird. This is like the Twilight Zone.
It is.
It's a Twilight Zone. And honestly, why people can't see that they're being like set up to fight. Like, the media is being like the instigator that's like poking both sides.
Oh, they're only showing the one side. They're not showing the good. You got to go to YouTube. You got to actually find people who's shadow banned, quote unquote. I don't even know if that's a real term, but it's a real term because people outcry. You got to find these people who are shadow banned, then you got to find them on YouTube because they're not gonna just pop up even if you subscribe to them.
Yeah, I follow a couple. I've heard some things about how this country more or less might be going through a coup right now. Things might be over already before it even started. And now people are just waiting for things to manifest, figuring out how we can tell them, like, so America ain't America no more.
That's not the best choice. I don't think we should wait. We can't sit here and just wait.
Yeah.
That's what people gonna do anyway.
That's what people gonna do. You're right.
I mean, if you get like somebody, if you have a side baby, you realize like she's pregnant and she gave you the news. She's very sure that it's yours. And you have to go and tell your wife that, so I had an extramarital affair. And you just got to figure out how you're going to tell her. And that's where we're at right now.
Nah, I think the U.S., their thing is like, we just not going to say nothing. We're just not until the woman show up on the doorstep with the baby. Looking like that Mary J. Blige song.
Oh God. Oh, man.
You're gonna show up with the baby looking like you.
We're gonna end up knowing when it's too late. Possibly after November, sometime after this next flu season. And then we're gonna be like, hey, listen, guys, we're gonna be doing things this way for the next 5 years.
I think it's gonna be more like we ain't got it. Like we leaving. The U.S. just gonna pack up and leave, and like y'all on your own.
Oh, they ain't going nowhere. I'll tell you that.
I was like, they gonna pack up. They ain't gonna pack up and leave, but the U.S. is gonna fail, and they gonna be like, all y'all businesses and shit is done for, and I don't know what to tell y'all. Figure it out.
Well, business-wise, some went up, but technically as a country, we have already failed in like 4 months, and it's going to take 10 years to rebuild that. That's a whole other topic.
I don't think the U.S. is going to be here for 10 years. I think they're going to bankruptcy out. We done. Peace.
Even with bankruptcy, right?
Right.
That's not going to stop the little BS that's going to happen. People still could live. You got to remember, the red states are going to thrive regardless. They're just farmers. That's all they do is farm. So small businesses will pick up. Like regardless of a bankrupt state, if we even become like back in the day where we just had to trade skills for whatever goods and services.
Whoa.
Shit, if we went back to that,
is what's gonna happen. That's
if
what
we
has
went back
to happen.
to that, that's still if you could still have birth and regrowth in just the system alone.
That's what's gonna have to happen.
And that's not gonna hurt us. That's just gonna just change the way we move. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's gonna be Barter 5.
You said what?
It's gonna be Barter 5.
Shit, listen. Listen, I fix cars, man. If I gotta fix cars to get
you good.
Bread,
like,
if I fix cars to get some bread, I'm fixing cars to get some bread, man. Even if it's free labor, dog. As long as we can get the parts, and that's gonna be the shit. That's gonna be the thing, right? As long as as long as people are still making things.
Yeah, because that's the thing I've been hearing is like a lot of these countries are gonna stop doing business with the US. That like all these like the embargoes and stuff that the US been putting on all these other countries that made them poor, like Cuba and Zimbabwe and all that shit, is about to get turned back on the US. And anybody that has a business under the US is like, hey, we're not doing business with y'all no
more. Yeah, right. And our money ain't worth shit.
Like, our money ain't worth shit. We ain't taking y'all money. We don't want y'all money. Y'all don't produce shit, but black people entertain us. So
we definitely don't. So, we got the most entertainers, right?
So we good on y'all. And it's gonna be like gonna be left to the people to figure it out. And they gonna be in a race war.
Shit.
It looks like you're probably gonna end up being like Venezuela. I just saw a video where like they said like the currency in Venezuela is so useless that like kids just playing in it like it's like snow. They're just like playing with like stacks and stacks of money because it's worthless at that point. And I mean, honestly, all money really is just an agreement. It's like, all right, we agree that this is worth that amount. So, you know, there's so much going on at play that this race thing that they're trying to instigate, you know, it's right on time. I'll give you props for that. It is right on time. You snow chip did good.
It's beautifully placed, right?
Yeah.
They've been planning it for years. They literally hit us right after this Corona scare. I guarantee you there would have been way less protests if a lot more people were at work. They'd be like, yo, I'm sorry, man. It's because capitalism, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's because everyone's for self. Everyone's got their own goals and agendas, and they got to work. Right? We're all climbing that ladder. We're all rolling that wheel, right? If everyone was at work, or not even everyone, just the majority more people was at work, and they didn't have to be shut down because some stores got shut down. They didn't have to be. They could have loopholed their way through, right? If a lot more people were at work, a lot more people wouldn't be out there protesting, aka at night rioting, because somehow it always gets incited, right? It's always at night. Somehow somebody's always getting beat down. Mm-hmm. Someone always dies in a riot. They just don't televise it. But then, you know, there's internet radio, internet news. They're always finding it. They're always posting it, and then they always get social media to share it. Somebody always shares it. I always see it like, yo, this guy died. No one's posting it. Share this right here. I'm like, yo, dude, is this an algorithm, or is this real news? Like, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
And that's what's crazy is like you can't even tell truth from fiction. Like, you'd be better off just not even paying attention, because it's like, is this real? Is this a lie? Did somebody make this up? Is this sensationalized? Like, did this real? Like, it's just, you got to put so much energy into figuring out what's true and what's false. Who got time to do that and energy to do that?
It's a lot of time.
Like,
and that's by design.
We all can't be Batman, and during these protests, a lot of people are gonna get sick. Like, a lot of people getting sick, and maybe that is the second wave, because most of the people who are getting sick from COVID are asymmetrical. I know this because I know a lot of people who've been sick with it and had no symptoms, but you know, their loved ones been sick, got through it, asymmetrical. My sister, nurse, RN, front line, she got it. I seen her the other day after her 2-week pass. I wouldn't even know she was sick. She's fucking running around like nothing happened. Like, not even a cough on her. Not no damn symptom, no nothing. I could ask her. She's like, you know, little tickle. Yeah, I was breathing fine. I don't know.
So you mean asymptomatic, not asymmetrical, right?
Yeah, asymptomatic.
Okay, just want to make sure you're on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of stuff that they're saying as far as, you know, the COVID thing is like a lot of the stuff that there a lot of precautions that you need to take, you know, isolating indoors, not getting sunlight, all of this other stuff, that just weakens your immune system. Being scared of shit, like that's gonna weaken your immune system. I mean, it's basically like if you think about when people get into car accidents, particularly like, you know, drunk drivers and stuff like that. Typically, the driver is the only one that survives is because they have a delayed reaction because they're not bracing themselves. You brace yourself, that's when you really mess yourself up. So when you're bracing yourself for sickness or, you know, whatever it is, you're already manifesting that illness in your mind and in your reality.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's the main reason people get sick. Like that when they say like what was they had a new symptom, oh, you can't smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't an original symptom, but then later on it became a symptom. Then all of a sudden people was like, oh, I can't smell anything. Like literally they just planted a seed in your brain and you like made it come true. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
How does that just pop up out of nowhere? Like
I swear that was an original symptom too.
It wasn't.
Was.
I like, man, they out here playing. They just out here playing like, what can we get them to think and manifest right now?
Yeah, so, you know, they had people in base like solitary confinement for the most part, or with families they really can't stand. You know.
People out here angry,
you know,
bitter, lonely, or hating their family. Like that is an environment to get sick in. Like you gonna get sick.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it COVID.
But it's perfect because they got all these people home, sick, not sick. They got all these people to come out and just be out there not thinking about being sick just because like there's a cause out there. Not that the cause needed not be like heard and felt. It definitely was a perfect time for it. It just feels like it was an awkward like stage time.
Mm-hmm. And then they got everybody out here in the middle of a respiratory illness talking about I can't breathe.
Because it doesn't make sense. We could have did this anytime. We should have did this after Trayvon Martin.
But that's because it was planned and it was supported by mainstream media this time.
Who planned it? But who planned it? Because we could have planned it ourselves. And if we would have planned it ourselves, it would have been different.
That's what I'm saying. I said Black Lives Matter planned it. And who owns Black Life or who funds Black Lives Matters?
This is the Soros music.
So that's what I said. This time it's being supported by mainstream media. So all of the followers, hey man, he does what he does. He do what he do. I don't be mad. I can't be mad at nobody.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's just, and that's what he does basically. Like, not just, you know, in America, but like in other places as well. Like he just creates discord. The reason he even got rich in the first place is because he crashed an economy. Crashed an economy, like, and took the money and ran.
Yeah, economic gangsters. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing.
Financial, and they send people over here. They, you know, they have so much shit. So yeah, this is an instigating thing that's being put together to place the black people against the white people. And the crazy thing is, if you ever listen to like the quote unquote woke white people or the woke whitish, you know, I'm not even sure what you call it, but the enlightened people, if you will, like they're really
the Alan Watts of the society. Well, I can't say bad about Alan Watts. She's really wisdom.
But I'm just saying, like they want the same things. Like they're against, you know, forced vaccinations. They're against, you know, martial law and taking away rights and taking away guns and stuff like that. So in a lot of ways, we want the same things. But the fact that, you know, we have different skin color, that long history that we've had against each other, you know, it's just the perfect storm to place us against each other when we could. I'm not gonna say we're gonna be BFFs and shit, but we have a common enemy.
20 years.
And
20
it's
years
just
we can get rid of that.
But what the people have to, the albans, they have to face their racism. And that's just like, that's just like if it was an addict and you hold a mirror up to an addict to say, like, listen, you're addicted. And they're like, no, I'm not. It's the same thing with white people and racism. Like, you were raised in a racist system, whether you know it or not, you're racist. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, if you grew up in the US and you went to traditional school and you learn traditional history and all that, you are racist. You can't help it. That's just the fact of the matter. Now, are you willing to face that, own it, and try to heal from it? No, because then I have to admit that everything that I feel like I've earned, I had a leg up over somebody else, and now you taking away from all my hard work and blah 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 blah. And
That's
I'm
true.
not willing to admit that.
Always have to compete, even if you're overqualified. You still get looked over just because somebody could be family, could be friend of family, somebody, their new colleague, or fraternity. Usually the cases, right?
Yep. So,
my question to the black people.
You know.
My question to the black people, because some white people are ready. My question to the black people is, when are we gonna be ready? Because it's gonna take us about 20 years to get ready to train the new youngsters under these youngsters, to train them to learn what not to be and how to be. If we were gonna change the society, it's gonna take the same effort on all sides of all colors and all races to do that. It takes time. But the way we're going right now, the way we're talking about complete separation. So if we're talking about complete separation just to get our name up, we got to think about what message are we sending.
I mean,
shit, and that's where we're because we're coming from. I know we're coming from, Anna. We're coming from like, I don't want to make it seem like we're coming from revenge. Yes, we do need to set up our own operation, our own resources, our own generational wealth. That is important to our culture. That is important to our race. If we're going to survive in a capitalistic world, we need to set up our own. However, we can't just separate. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, we want to set that.
They can if they want to. I mean, that's what I said. The thing about freedom is everybody is free to do what they want. So if you wanted, some black people want to separate, then go and separate and have your old black town and your black Wall Street. And some want to mix and mingle, then go mix and mingle. But we all not gonna want the same thing. And that's what I think the biggest thing is people keep trying to lump black people together as if they all want the same thing. And they don't. Right. Like they don't. Like, so like most people don't even know what they actually want. Like they just like, I don't even know. I can't, like, I've tuned out, so I don't even know. But that's
my thing in the fight. Like, what do we want now from this cause? Like, what are we trying to get from it? And I know we need answers, and we need them fast, and they need to start coming swiftly. Like, we need to start with something aside from conviction.
But it's like here in Indy, we've had a couple police shootings, all kind of, you know, Black Lives Matter. They've been doing their thing, and nothing has changed. Okay, we're supposed to get body cams. That's the thing that they got here, is they're supposed to get body cams for IMPD. Y'all, they've had body cams in other cities and states for how long? And people are still getting shot and killed, y'all. Like, what are we like? So how is body cams gonna change anything when it's not working anywhere else? And you want to talk about policy change? How many policies are on the book that's supposed to get rid of racism and inequality still exists? So if you're talking policy change, what are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, so I understand the separate. I understand that. Like, just build it yourself. Then if you want to welcome them later, if you want to welcome everybody, but it got to be your shit. It got to be FUBU.
Like I said, if we had our own town, they're still gonna have to be policing in that same town. It'd probably be black policing, people who from the neighborhood. And would that be any different?
I mean, that's all about culture.
Yeah,
that's all about how you get to put it together. But I feel like black people ain't gonna do nothing but recreate the same shit, just black.
Yeah, you know, that's history, right? But we gotta change that, right? It's everywhere, right? It's classism everywhere, even in Africa, right? Like, so like, we gotta work, like, as people, as humans, to be better than that. And that's, you know,
we gotta let go of US culture. We don't understand that that black people have internalized US culture.
Yep.
And they don't want to let it go. Like, all the capitalism and all that shit. Everybody has. Everybody ran the world. The US has ran the world. So you had to adapt in order to survive. But now you're gonna have to learn to let go of that shit if you're gonna build your own, or you're gonna build the same thing, just black. Like,
it's going to it could end up being the same, but it depends on how we go about it. We could be the difference. We could be the difference and change it. It just depends, how greedy some people can get. And we all know if we don't got it, we get greedy. I just censor myself the hell out of it. I don't know how it works, but I censor the shit out of myself. But nah, man, those who don't got it get greedy.
Mm-hmm.
We know how that works.
And a lot of these people are for sale. Like this week, whole ass niggas. Yeah, but like this week alone, like just seeing like how it's so strategic. Cause so basically, like last week, it seemed like we had a mini Wakanda forming and all this other stuff. And then on Monday, as soon as Monday starts, the black activist. I don't know. Damn, my name escapes me right now. I live with Alutoyan, I believe it was. She had an African ass name. She was murdered. She was found dead. She was missing since the 6th. And they had pulled up tweets about her saying like, "Yeah, I'm always on the line for for the same people that that have abused me and all this other stuff." And there was that. She was also found with somebody else. Like the person that murdered her was a serial killer. So it wasn't just her. Like she was murdered. She was found with a dead white woman. Probably
interesting.
She was like at least 60. That's me being nice. And there was that, and then we was talking about like how black men, we don't protect our women and everything like that. And then the black men were like, "Now we need to stay focused, blah blah blah." And then more and more situations happen where they show these kids that put this girl in the dumpster on camera. And again, it's just like, it's so strategic. Like, even if, these were actually like non-related incidences, the fact that they went viral just lets you know. And at this time, it's so strategic.
To throw her in the dumpster, B?
Yeah, there was a bunch of kids. I mean, the thing is, like, they look like teenagers, like high school age.
Who are you paying to have me touch that body, bro?
Like, they just picked her up and just threw her in the dumpster.
Negative, bro.
Yeah. And then, and the thing is, like, I couldn't tell if, initially, I couldn't tell if she was, like a little girl, like maybe high school age, or maybe she was a fiend. She just kind of seemed like she reacted weird. It was kind of, I don't know, it was weird. But it happened in D.C. They ended up, and then they showed somebody else who hit somebody in the face with a skateboard in Harlem.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
That needs to go down, bro. Sorry, bro. I don't respect that at all. I don't condone that kind of behavior. That's not how we as young men in general, are supposed to treat a woman.
The dumpster thing is cool, but just a skateboard. That was the last straw. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the lady was dead. I don't know how you get kids to pay to pick up a body just like that. If you paid them kids, I don't know how you get some kids to just freehand. And I seen bodies.
Nah. She wasn't dead. She was alive. She came up to her, they picked her up and just threw in the dumpster.
Oh, I was under the pretense this lady was deceased.
Think of the worst thing possible.
Yo, I thought she was wrapped up and gone, bro. I in my head, you got to be picking up a lady. I'm like, yo, chill. What are we talking? What are we talking about? They got these kids paying to pick up a dead body? No way. Nah. Either both.
But here's the thing, though. If we're just using common sense, just a little common sense, I think any man would agree that any man would agree that you were, hitting a person in the face, woman or man, but definitely a woman with a skateboard is probably not good. So like, how do they use these events? Throwing somebody in a dumpster, yeah, that's not good. So how do they use these events where it only takes common sense to say that is wrong to divide the black community? Like, how do you do, like, how are you so gullible? Like, why are black people even having a conversation about this shit? Like, that should be common sense. Oh yeah, he shouldn't hit her with a skateboard. Okay, back to what the fuck we were doing. It shouldn't be think pieces on why black men don't respect black women and blah blah blah. It like, they're like a fucking dog following a bouncing ball. Anytime somebody throw a ball, these niggas just go running.
It's the next distraction to try to get you off the one topic, and they're very good at doing that. They do that all the time. They try to get you to you know what? This guy died now. You know, what
Yeah,
happened?
the dude in Atlanta. That was another thing that happened. And
So that guy, oh my God. So I don't even want to talk about that one. That's the worst. That one is unfair on both sides of the case. I don't even know how to go about that one.
the fact that they had a video, they made a whole production, like right as soon as he got out of jail. He just got out of jail, and he was on probation. And the fact that they had a whole interview about like how everything worked, and the way it was produced, it made it seem like this was a premeditated thing. Like it was like some sort of sacrifice they set up.
He was out on COVID release, right? As far as I'm concerned. He beat up them two cops. Them two cops ain't have a chance, and he was able to grab a taser. He could have been able to grab a gun. I mean, I come from a military mindset. I'm the one who I wanted to try to go to the military. I mean, I don't think like a cop, but I mean, ever since I did the trainings, it was not like something I could just leave you. You know what I'm saying? For me, that was like, yo, all right, my man's is gone though. He took flight on them after all that. They could have fucking took chase with him. They have another cartridge for a taser. Yeah, you got shot with a taser. Your man's have two tasers. You could lay chase and shoot him down with another taser in his leg. You ain't have to kill the man.
And then
you're shooting into public. Like when people are out there. Like that's not a good call.
And then on top of that, now they're saying that, you know, after they shot him, they kicked him. They was talking about like, damn, that was an adrenaline rush. You know, this like it's all bad. And again, it's all to, you know, part of that narrative to, you know, fuel these racial tensions.
Yeah, because I had my mom actually told me about that situation, right? About the tasing the guy, whatever. And she was like, well, because, you know, my brother-in-law is a cop. So she was like, well, he didn't listen and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Mama, didn't you tell me he was under the influence? Ain't that what is that the guy?
Drunk.
Yeah, I was like, so he was under the influence. So that means that you're not thinking right. You're not making your normal decisions, okay?
Right.
And I was like, and he was parked in the car. He got out the car. Let him go. He's not hurting nobody. And I said, until life becomes more important than a cop's pride or a so-called crime or whatever, because they're putting other people in danger, pursuing people who haven't even committed serious crimes. That's what I'm like. These people haven't committed serious crimes. They're out of danger. Why are you pursuing them? And the police are creating the public danger. Like they're creating the danger for people because he's not in the car no more. You know what I mean?
His case was different because, like, I'm a nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. The point that he blew, if he sat down, he is drunk. I seen the video, body camera before it turned off. That one right there, that whole thing, because it was like, who took video recording after the guy's body cam ruffled off and turned off when they were scuffling, right? Somebody else recorded it, and then it was recorded when he got shot and kicked and all that stuff like that. They call audio of that. That's why, like, I'm messed up with the case. But me, if I was an op, yo, dude, I'd have had to detain you, bro. You would have had to sit down for a little bit, like in the car, even if I'm gonna let you go, just cause like I can't let you drive like that. And me as a dumbass nigga,
well, you're not driving.
I might have took off after they left. It ain't safe for me here. I gotta go because somebody in the Wendy's called the cops on him because they tried to open the door and wake him up. And for however long they were out there talking to this asshole, yeah, he was slurring like a motherfucker. I'm sorry, son. Like, if he would have got off,
I'm just saying. But once he's fleeing, why do you need to shoot him?
Yeah, you didn't need to shoot him. I mean,
yeah,
you did have to lay. I don't know what you would have did. I would have laid chase and not, do something. They already got fucked up from him. He already beat both of them up.
That's what I'm saying. But like, why chase? Because now if you're he's desperate. He's not in his right mind. We already know he's drunk, so he's not in his right mind. You're chasing him. So if he's that intent on getting away from you, then he's going to continue to put other people in danger while you're chasing him. But if you just let that nigga sit on the curb and tow his car and just leave him there, we don't have this problem. But why is life?
True. They shouldn't have to chase him like that. They shouldn't have to shot him. They could have just sat by the car and put a.
I was like, if he's not in the car, tow the car and tell him to go on. Like, if he gonna run and run, bye. Because what is that, public intoxication? Because the car wasn't moving.
That's true. That's all he would have got.
Exactly. Why are you?
He's fixing to lose his license. He's fixing to lose his license going back because he didn't want to blow. But he did blow. But he did blow. So he was fixing to go for a way bigger charge. But I mean, listen, he probably would have got off on a slap of the wrist or a ticket. But I don't know.
He was drunk. And he's drunk. And so if we're not factoring in that part that he's not in his right mind, because people get off for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You kill somebody in a rage, you get manslaughter, or you know what I mean? You get a lesser charge.
Which could have happened.
I'm about to reach. Get ready. He was probably at least the same amount of intoxicated that when a woman can't consent to have sex and make decisions to do that. So if he can't even look, I'm just saying.
That is a fair comparison.
You're right.
If we saying like,
he was out there, dog. If you see the body cam video, if you see the body cam footage and you heard this man talk, like he was trying to make sense, like he was making sense. But bro, 2 margaritas, dog. There's no way you talking like that with 2. Then he changed the story. 1.5 margarita. Yeah. Like, no, you ain't.
That's how you know he's drunk. He says 1.5. Like,
yeah. Nah, let me get the rest of your drink.
What did you have? A whole thing of tequila with a splash of a little sweet and sour and some salt around the rim? Just
he even had the sweet and sour and he had a splash of juice in there, like the fresh fruit. That's it.
He called it a margarita. He called it a margarita.
I had a tough thing. Mind you, he just came home not too long ago too. Like, so
yeah,
like I said, he knew he wanted to go.
And that video that they made, it was very weird. I feel like, again, just knowing how this piece works, it just seems like this was already set up. I mean, the fact that somebody, I guess, so he was already, enlighten me. So he had parked his car. He was asleep in his car because he was drunk.
I think, did he fall asleep in the drive-thru?
Yo, listen. He was nodding. He parked it. I don't even know if he got the food because they didn't show if he got the food or not. But they went to his window. From what the cop said, hey, lady from Wendy's knocked on your window. She couldn't get a response from you. They called us. I knocked on your window. Took us a little bit for you to get out the car. And they talking to you. Now the body cam is on. Now they having this whole dialogue. It was like a half-hour video. I watched it at work. I was like, damn, they really sat there and tried to play this man wordly before they got him to blow. The cop was being real patient with his ass. I ain't gonna hold you. But he fucked them both up. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, yo, there's no way for him to get the taser. There's no way for him.
How did it escalate to like physicality?
I really can't say it because it was quick. Like, I think he moved for, like, the one cop who was talking to him had to have gone for that regular reach around BS that they do, grab your hand, wrist elbow, like Tai Chi. Wrist elbow, like Tai Chi, shit work for everything. If you can get a good spin on that guy, you can get a good arm back and control the situation, right? Ways around it, but listen, they don't teach that to people. Fucking, they must have went for that, and he is from, obviously, he's in jail, dude. He know how to fight. He know the routine. Mm-hmm. It's not something new. It's not something new to him. That's something that's regular for them. If you in jail,
I know this move, nigga.
Yeah, and he's drunk, so he got superpowers.
Boy, that camera ruffled so quick, and it was cut. And it's hard to get footage. It's hard to like see and review that footage from like where you could see them fighting really. Mm-hmm. But he was able to get the taser. For a cop, that's bad right there. Like, your grounds to get suspended. Like, because that could have been your life or your partner's life. Mm-hmm. It's only, like, not even inches apart. Like, the taser's right here on your hip, and then, like, literally on the other side behind it is the hand. It's where the gun is. It's always behind. Like, far, fuck your rotary cuff up reach. Like, I don't know why they put it there. I don't know why they placed it there, but everyone.
Because they want them to go for the taser first. They're supposed to do taser first before they go for the gun. It's supposed to be taser.
Yeah, because
then you go for your gun.
Worst case, you pee on yourself or whatever, but at least you're alive. You just a little
don't ever pull your gun out on somebody. You don't even know who you're pulling your gun out. They could fuck your shit up, take your gun from you.
Oh man, all day. We learned that in martial arts.
If you ain't trained, yeah.
I was like, I'm not saying I'm gonna try it. I'm not saying I'm gonna try it.
They like to send these rookie cops out to Brooklyn and Harlem, like they fucking, yeah, man, earn your stripes. Okay, lose your fucking gun and your badge.
So again, he had a body cam and the nigga is still dead. What is a body cam gonna do to protect Black people? Because these are the policy change. These are the policy changes that Black Lives Matter and different people are pushing. It's like, what the hell is a body cam gonna do to keep them from nothing, y'all? Moral victories.
What it's doing is it's giving us footage and further enrage us.
Basically.
Push again towards this war that they're trying to instigate.
Because every white person is probably like, well, he shouldn't have fought them, and even some like he shouldn't have fought them, and if he just listened to the police.
It was probably cheering them on like it was an episode of Cops.
Go willingly.
Get that nigger! Get that nigger! Don't let him get away.
I never watch. I don't even watch. I haven't watched that show since I got cable. Since I got cable vision, man, I haven't even watched the episode of Cops. It used to be on Channel 5. Now it's on True TV. What was that, Live PD? And that's canceled now? Damn.
Yeah.
Like, it's silly, but it's just feeding everybody's, like, ego because, like, white people don't want to be racist and they want to prove that they're not racist by, like, ignoring racist shit and saying that it's not racist. And then Black people are all hypersensitive about everything being racist. So it's just
they got us played, really, right? Because we're all super sensitive now. Now everything fucking matters.
Everything.
Before.
And then if you think about it, I'm like, y'all, like racism, prejudice has always been there. Like it's always been there. The problem is that you are dependent on a racist to take care of you, to police your community, to do all this shit for you, and the racist. If you weren't dependent on them, racism wouldn't matter. You don't see them hollering racism in Chinatowns all over the country, do you? No, you do not.
They get it in different ways, but I feel like they get it hit in the money. They still get their loans, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's always based. There's always that one weaker class, right? Like how the Irish was weaker to the Romans, and even the we call them Valhallan people, them Vikings. And they slaved the most white people, and they were white. The Romans, the most white people, and they were white. I just feel like when we finally decide to end that classism system, that system that we so depend on, that's when we can find true growth as people. Because we're gonna do it to ourselves, even if we run our own like
exactly.
Town. If Atlanta was just Atlanta, if Atlanta just was like fuck it, all of Georgia is Atlanta.
That's what niggas think anyway.
We're just gonna claim the whole state. That's what, when I thought of Georgia, I was like, what you mean Atlanta? Like that's the only state, that's the only city that matters. That's the only city that matters. It's a big ass city.
Yeah.
North, south, east, and west, and they all hate each other. Like they all play with each other.
I have two of my sisters live in Atlanta, and like they're well off. Yeah, one's an accountant, one's a lawyer, and there's still a divide amongst them living in Southwest Atlanta and fucking big ass houses and and the people,
the haves
in
and
the
the
actual
have
city. Yeah, I was like, it's still the same divide. It's still this same type of like tension when they're around poor people. Like,
is that their fault? Is that their fault? They wasn't taught how to research in college or community college or even in we were never taught how to do this in high school because it's not the curriculum. It's not the curriculum to teach, to empower. It's a curriculum to teach to be, to just follow orders.
Yeah.
We were taught to just follow orders, so
it's not their fault, but it to the point of the matter is if you have a whole lot more than you need, and there's people out there that don't have basic necessities, and you're not at all concerned about them, yeah, it's a problem, and you are going to be a target. Like, so if you're not trying to actively solve the issue of people not having their basic needs met, and you have more than you need, there's always going to be tension. Black, white, brown, purple, green, whatever, it's always going to be tension between those two people, between those classes, like royalty and peasants. Like, it's the same tension.
Yeah, you're not sharing, man. You're not sharing the wealth. Hey, you're not.
And I'm out here starving. Like, it's not like I got a little house, but I'm cool, and you got this big ass house, nigga. I'm on the street, begging for food. You know what I mean? So then that brings me to this question right here, right?
because we gotta let it be known that there is such thing as a black conservative. You know, it's common forethought that all black people are Democrats and liberals, right? We just like to give. That is not the case. That is far from the case. There are probably more black conservatives than there are liberals, and they just don't want to consider themselves as conservative, because if you consider yourselves conservative, you are like most likely leaning to the right wing, and then that's just bad if you're a black, right? Don't you know what Republicans did to our people?
I mean, don't we know that Democrats did it first? Like, do we want to switch? Do we want to go there?
What's I mean, that's the narrative.
Well, yeah.
That's not taught. That's the narrative. That's
not.
No,
taught. It's not. It's not. It's not taught. But I'm like, but that's the part of the matter is people aren't actually thinking. It's all emotion. There's no actual thought to what's going on. So that's why it's so easy to pit black against white and rich against poor and all this stuff, because no one's actually thinking. Everyone is responding from emotion.
Yep.
So I move on from the notion where I say, like, instead of it being like a total race war, it's really a red versus blue BS. Like, pick a side. You're gonna have to pick a side. Because there's gonna be people on our side who's gonna be like, nah, chill. Let's move a little different. You know, they're conservative. We already know that. But there'll be not saying that they ain't gonna be warriors, because there's gonna be a time for us to stand. And when we do stand, I guarantee you, it's not gonna just be black people out there standing on this fight.
It depends on what people decide to make their stand on. That's what it. Are people deciding to make are black people deciding to make their stand on being black? Or are they deciding to make their stand on being free?
I bet you it's gonna move on from this race to a whole different divide, and I see it coming. And that's where the Civil War is gonna happen, and it's gonna be about who's governed versus who's out there for the people. It's not gonna take much. We don't need a lot of forces or anything like that to fight. Just because, like, in the first Revolutionary War, there wasn't that many people. It was only like 16%. It might be just about more people this time around. Just people are just angry, right?
Yeah.
People are really angry.
People just want to fight. People want to fight. Like, they just want to fight.
Sitting around like with no job, just watching all of this. Watching all these niggas get these rights.
We don't even know if they even gonna get their jobs back, and that's the sad part, right? Yeah. And that's why I see this fight happening that's why I see this protesting and shit happening until the presidency happens, right? And this might just help, because Biden ain't proven like he gonna fucking stand up for us.
Because they want Trump to be president.
It might even
Biden?
It might even get canceled. Like, this shit going on too long. They might even cancel it, and then that's when shit gonna switch up.
That's when shit gonna pop off.
Big old fucking. Oh, we forgot about this shit here. We got to fight about this shit here, and then it's gonna be the divide, right? But
it's gonna be another one.
It's gonna be another one.
It's gonna be. It's just gonna keep going though. It's gonna be distraction after distraction. Oh well, we don't need to focus on that anymore. Trump is still president. We need to focus, or Trump canceled the election, or whatever. We need to focus on that. It's not about black people right now, and like that. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be another narrative after that, and another narrative after that, and they just gonna keep people spinning in a circle until people are just like, fuck all this shit. Like, just I'm done. Like, I'm just gonna walk away. I don't know. Just
I could definitely see that. Especially considering, they showed where all the Black Lives Matter donations are going to, and it's all going to Democratic candidates. Bernie Sanders is still getting paid off for Black Lives Matter. And anything about
he was one of the founder endorsers of that shit. He was for it, and he's for raising our taxes because we already have high taxes, and we was gonna suffer that because we're all blue. We're all blue. I'm a conservative, by the way. I mean, I'm a conservative independent. I don't have a side. I feel like we need to find a party or create a new party that's going to be for what the people actually want. It doesn't have to be like just the black people. It's just people in general, because there's different things that we can do to make this place a whole different place, a whole different platform, to make it more free, not even more free, but just like, because it's going to be a police state regardless, but it could be a different setup. Not the way it was run before. If it's going to take time, but if we move in the right direction, then it's going to be for the better. and we can still kind of keep capitalism, even though capitalism basically is slavery. Like there is no way you can have a pyramid and not have people in the bottom working for you. Like there's just no way that's gonna work. Socialism is just not gonna work because it's just like another communism. I mean, but people are for that though. People are for communism making the same.
Like I lived in Holland for a while, and there I think they're part socialist. And while there were still people who had a lot more money, of course, and like, cause like I played basketball, so the owner of the team, you know, I mean, like he lived in a big ass house somewhere like out that I never went to. He had like the self-parking Mercedes and stuff like that. Like, and this was probably like 10 years ago almost. Right. And then you had like most people lived more like in townhomes, rode bikes, might have had a car, might not have had a car, but everybody, you was gonna have food and shelter no matter what, and medical care. You were gonna have food, shelter, and medical care no matter what.
They were happy.
And everybody was fucking happy. Like, you could still go out and create a business and try to make money, but even if your business fucking failed, you were still gonna have food, shelter, and healthcare. And it's like, when you give people the basic necessities and human dignity, you'll be surprised at how much they'll let you take advantage of you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll let you take advantage of them if you just give them basic shit. Like, they're like, oh, I'll go to work. They went to work every day. They worked 9 to 5s, and they did the same shit we did every day with a smile and happy, and nobody was stressed out from that little bit of shit.
Be the same way in Canada. They just get used to it and they deal with
it. Exactly. Yeah,
I've heard Pimp say this before. Like, yeah, you just give her the basic necessities and she'll be loyal forever.
That's it, baby.
But the U.S. is greedy. They greedy. They don't want it. They don't want you to have shit. We want it all. We want every last dollar. We want you to have to work 2 jobs.
They want all your dollars. But if you try to earn a good dollar and you make a good dollar, we want some of that, because you wouldn't be making that dollar if it wasn't for us. All right, we made it possible for you to make that dollar.
We won't.
But you got the dollars,
because they gonna raise prices. We're gonna raise prices. We're gonna have inflation. We're gonna do all we want you to work 2 jobs just to make your ends meet.
We wouldn't have inflation if we wasn't sticking our nose in different places and fucking up our own money. We fucked up our own money system for that to happen.
If they understand how much money the U.S. literally gives away, like, and then they keep us arguing. They keep the people arguing over food stamps and fucking healthcare. Meanwhile, we give billions of dollars to Israel and bail out banks and all this shit. Like, do y'all not understand the game being played? Like,
yeah, we made China. We made China rich, and we continue to make China rich. Thank you, Amazon. I appreciate y'all. We have free, low budget items.
Yeah, man. Listen. It's global economy, but then people have to be responsible. So it's like, now, if you know that that's the game and you know that's the thing, then why do something else? Mm-hmm. Like, don't do that shit. Like, don't support that shit. But people, most people are not about that walk. They not about like really making that sacrifice to change shit. They just want somebody else to do it for them because they're children.
Or not only that, I mean, because we do have some free thinkers and we do have people ready to move.
Yeah.
It's just that it's different age, man. It's instant gratification right around now.
It takes sacrifice. You got to put some shit off.
If it ain't happening in a month, like people are fed up, man. They ready to go back to the old thing.
That's
exactly. Like, they not about it.
Shorty ain't putting out in a week. I'm done.
I mean, it's fact, bro.
It's a microwave. 5 days, bro. She ain't worth it. She not even like making a movie. I'm not making out, bro. I don't know. That's not kind of y'all ain't got no kind of connection physically. I'm just kidding.
No, but no, like that's the instant gratification. It's like, no, it's not gonna be comfortable. That's the other thing, is people don't want to be uncomfortable, but you uncomfortable anyway. Y'all out here screaming Black Lives Matter and we scared of the police and da-da-da-da-da.
How do people expect change if they don't want uncomfortable?
Exactly.
What do you get for change? You gotta go through that.
They're just uncomfortable enough to not do anything.
Because they want to be white people.
Sure.
That's why they want to be comfortable like they think. That's the thing about it. A lot of black people. I was gonna say a lot of black people don't really know white people. You could tell they ain't really been around white people, been in their families, been in their homes, like actually know white people, because you'll find out they're just as miserable as black people. And actually, black people are usually more happy, even if they poor, than a lot of these rich white people.
100%. 100%.
And that's why, like, and I think like black people are chasing this idea that they made up about white people. Like, you don't even know white people. You don't even talk. That's why you hate them. Like, you don't even know, you know what I mean? You don't even know them. You don't even really get into their families, how they live, how they move. You just know they got more money than you, and you know they don't get harassed by the cops like you. That's all you really know. And you're like, I want that.
Definitely have the privilege of not getting harassed.
Yeah.
And the banks love them.
Yeah. I was like, so, I mean, I get it. But I was like, I definitely get it.
Some of them live poorer than us, and we poor. And we got
they be hundreds, they be $100,000 in debt. They not allowed to let a black person go into that much debt. But these white people you see out here, they be into debt. Why they be so stressed out? They be into debt out of ridiculous. If y'all think school loans is bad, because they let them just keep on taking out. They let them keep taking out loans and refinance. They let them do all that. They let them do all that stuff all day. They just go further and further and further in debt. Then they
fail business after fail business after fail business. They get that opportunity. We don't get that opportunity. We probably get that chance. One chance, maybe two. If you even made a little bit of profit or revenue, they might give you a second chance. But if you bankrupt that first time, it's hard for you.
What you're saying is that black people are jealous that white people get a longer rope in which to hang themselves?
Yes.
Well,
that's exactly it.
We're kind of mad about that, bro. We want the same rope too. Shit. I want to be able to fail like 4 or 5 times to get my business started and get multi-millions. Like, come on, man. I want that opportunity. Why I got to get one shot?
I want to fail like Hunter. I know that's the whitest name I can think of right now. You gotta be,
but yeah,
you're definitely right for naming your child after an occupation. But it's
but it's true though. We do need that. I mean, how many black banks do we have? How many black banks that we have that's gonna get bailed out?
None.
That's a good question, right? That's the question I want to ask, because all the other banks, we know they have a good standing. All right, they've been there for forever. Ooh. What about the other banks? They get an opportunity too, right? You want to bail out credit? They got to bail these guys out too.
And then they got,
because it's a club. Yep.
There's 2 in New York, and there's also like it is, and then there's also a situation where it's like with these banks, like some of them, they basically like they're black owned the same way that Fenty is black owned.
Blackface.
Yes, it's blackface.
Blackface.
They hired a whole bunch of black people to work there. I remember one time this bank that shall remain nameless because I don't want to slander anybody. You know, the reason why I even got with that bank was because it was black owned and it was in New York. I went mad far. I was living in Long Island at the time, and I went all the way from Long Island to Brooklyn just to get to this bank.
To pull some money?
Yes. No, to set up an account and everything. You know, showing that dedication and shit, you know.
Okay, I hear you.
Trying to beat the change.
Yeah, exactly.
What was their interest rates?
And that was just like, so I was just, what brings you over here? Because I looked at my address. I'm like, I just wanted to, support a black-owned bank. He goes, yeah, we are black managed. I was like, well, alrighty then.
All right, exactly. Managed.
They're a black managed.
Yes. But and hell, and if we already know what a bank really is, any banker is a crook. Because they loaning out money they don't have. So I don't care if you black, white, Chinese, or whatever. You don't even got the money that you loaning out that you charging me stupid interest rates on. So
I was just hoping the interest rate wasn't like how they do us with food right now, the capitalism. They 2 pieces for $13. I'll 2 pieces size $13. That kills me every single time. They're like, I got $20 on my plate. I get that less the Chinese food store. Come on, please work with me. $10. I get $10 on this place song.
Do you guys think that there is a way that capitalism could work?
No.
I mean,
well, not if everything is for sale.
It works. It's long term for a business owner to make money, they do take care of their employees. Let's say they do take care of the employees. They were to give them health benefits and they were to pay that out of their pocket. Because they are going to get the incentive to make the most money out of the employees are not going to make as much. But if they take care of the employees, as in like have the employees don't pay for health benefits, that comes out of the employer's pocket. Give them, decent wage to offset the cost of living for where they live. Then I could see capitalism working in a positive light and not so much as like cause a strain for the marketplace, because the marketplace is only going to go up if the marketplace is only going to go up. However, I don't know. I'm not trying to explain that shit right now. Fucking a lot of work is late. Y'all know how the economy
yeah. No,
but
I think
that's how I think it's gonna work. Like even short term, even for long term, like you're still gonna make money. They're still gonna be able to save and be able to make a business for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like however they want to do it, create competition. Capitalism only works in competition.
I think capitalism only works if the general public is actually educated about their power, because then the public wouldn't allow for these mega corporations to form if they were actually educated about how this works. So if you allow a mega corporation to form, or lots of them to form, then you're going to be taken advantage of. So if more people actually were educated on that, then we wouldn't be supporting and letting these huge corporations build who can't do anything but take advantage of people. Once you get so big, you're just all you're going to do is take advantage of people, because capitalism requires someone to capitalize off of. Mm-hmm. So as long as people are broke, they're going to go to Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's the cheapest place to go.
Walmart's the biggest one. Target's another big one. Macy's been doing it for years.
Yeah, it's like, so if people aren't educated, then they will always, you can call the system whatever you want to call it. But if people are not educated and they don't understand their power and how it works, they're going to be taken advantage of, whether it's in socialism, whether it's in whatever, to a certain extent, you're going to be taken advantage of. So unless we can do, like I said, unless everybody can have their basic needs met, then capitalism wouldn't seem so evil. But when people have billions and billions and other people literally have nothing and you're sleeping on the street, that's a problem. That means capitalism is not working. Like, it's not working as an economic system for the country. Like, it's not.
I heard this theory. Let me know what y'all think about it. I heard that, within a community, we practice, I think it said, communism within our community, and then we do capitalism with everybody else, outsiders.
That's the idea. I mean, because that's just community take care of community, or the village. Village take care of itself. All right, we real good at this. We gonna sell this to whoever has the funds to buy it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, every individual is gonna be taken care of by their community. So yeah, we communists with our neighbors and everything, and then whatever we produce together, we capitalists towards other people. But everybody's self-sufficient, so nobody can truly be taken advantage of. Like, that's the only way.
It's a good idea. It's a good way to work it.
But the thing is that, I mean, I think the reason why capitalism has failed a lot of people is because of what preceded capitalism, which was greed. And I think that greed is a part of the human condition for many people, because I think it's built off of a fear of scarcity, a fear of lack, and that people are just gonna in general try to capitalize off of, no pun intended, but they're gonna capitalize off of other people. Mm-hmm. People that may not be as smart, may not be as educated, may not know a jig when they see it. So
there's a lot of people, man.
Ain't that how all the families got?
Somebody's always gonna have that
rich ass families.
Didn't
they all make money bootlegging?
Yeah. All these rich families made money off of illegal activities, and niggas locked up a million years for.
Selling fake ass medication and miracle drugs to people that didn't know no better, just going town to town like, this will cure this and this will do that.
Even leggings, or even something as small as leggings, or those waist belts are supposed to reduce your stomach or whatever the case may be. Yo, gimmicks work, man. Even toys.
Because people are stupid.
Toys worked
Because
at one
people
point,
are
but
stupid.
toys is dead now. You can't even get a kid to play with a toy nowadays. You better get them a smartphone or something. And that's
Hey,
it.
listen, me and my son fight about that every day. Like, he be ready to fight me. He 5. He be real. I'll be like, Rami, tablet time is up. He get a half an hour 4 times a day. Tablet time is up. He be like, what? Like, he be...
Yeah, try to get this last game. Let me get this last game.
I'd be like, go get them Legos. You got Legos. You got this marble run. You got, we got all kinds of Play-Doh. What you want to do? What we gonna do? And he be like,
I guess I'm watching TV.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that a lot of times, like these things are like killing imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's where imagination is going right now. If it hasn't gone to VR, which is pre-programmed set for you, game or whatever the case may be, dude, you're lost. It's lost right now. Play-Doh's gone. Our business is dead. Legos is the only thing that will go along only because people really like to build things, right? And that's the one thing. Puzzles, though, I don't even know how puzzles are staying alive.
Man, we got a couple.
It's the same concept, but after you done built it, that's it, right? It's over. You might as well just put it in a photo frame and just.
I ain't never did a puzzle twice, but
man, who does that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like once I figured it out, it's a wrap. Like, all right, I'm done.
Then do that again.
So
yeah,
I think, and it's just funny because these are things that like white people, or what I sometimes refer to as snow chimps, that's what those are the same things that they're pointing out. These are the same things like, I don't want a tablet raising my children. I don't want my children drugged up. I don't want them, operating on our kids. And like, all this is the same kind of stuff that we're worrying about. It's just that we also have to worry about being black as well. So in a lot of ways, we want the same things, and we're not necessarily in each other's way. It's just that we're pit against each other. And it's wild. We have the same parent that's playing favorites.
Man, that's it. That's exactly what it is. It's the parent playing favorites. And that's fucked up.
And now he's starting to show a little care to us because they told our brothers and sisters that we have special needs. And now it's like and now it's
we get a short bus treatment right now. Oh, damn.
We the short bus.
That's basically what it is right now.
That's basically what it is.
That's so fun.
It appeals to like the soft-hearted white people. Like, no, don't do that to
like,
them.
Man, I want a helmet too. I want a helmet.
All the fighters on their side are like, all lives matter. No, all lives matter. They're willing to beat up their own because all lives matter. Yeah, and we know it, do. But you listen, y'all need to pay attention to what's happening right now.
It's not in practice, y'all. I mean, y'all really believe that.
You got to focus on this color right here. We're important right there.
And then they like, shut up, nigga. No one cares what you think. All lives matter.
All lives matter. They need to realize that, even when we help, because we got into these stupid ass wars back, World War I, World War II. Who helped the U.S. keep a good name? Black people. Yeah, they don't even show that in history books. All these white motherfuckers been drunk as shit, disrespecting the motherfucking Europes. And as we were supposed to be helping them, the Euros out. The Europes. We're helping the Euros out. And the only one who's been kind of polite, and I'm a history guy, is us, man. It's us in both wars. We're the most polite. We're polite. We didn't even have to be. Like, they were enemies. Like, why are we still polite? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we go back home and we treat it like shit. Like, we don't even matter.
Yeah, we're always polite, typically with outsiders. That's typically how our mothers raise us, But sometimes with our own, it does seem to be a bit of a different story. But let's stay on task here. So with this situation that they're trying to orchestrate, what do you think is the best plan of action for a black person watching this right now in 2020?
Stand your ground, baby. Stand your ground. Don't run.
Man.
Don't run. And no point in running no more. This is the time we need warriors. We need people to actually stand up. You got to speak your piece. I mean, we made it. It's come so far that you could just fucking whip your phone out and just record right there. It's going public. Your story's viral. Everyone's story is viral. My thing is, I wish we all catch it like before and after. I hate catching it in the process of the act because it's always caught when it's already bad, right? I want to know. I want some context. That's just because where I come from and where my mindset is. So I'll just be like, I need context before I go ahead because there's no facts behind this. All I see is fucking the anger. All I see is the anger, right? There ain't nothing good before it or no like, all right, well, you know, damn, bro, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta go down like that? And then damn, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but yo, son, bro, chill. Like this is not supposed to happen.
In the age of surveillance, you know, everything is on camera now at some point or another.
Yo, I don't think that our CCW that they have overseas is.
Ooh, damn, that was sudden.
It just cut off. You just cut him off.
I ain't cut him off.
No, I didn't say you. I was like, I seen his video went away, and then it was just his picture, and then it was like, and we're done.
Wow.
Nah, well, I would say. Oh man, no, I think the main thing is actually deciding what you want. Like, as an individual, what do you want to see? What do you want your life to look like? And then linking with other people who share that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want them to all be black, then they can all be black. If you want it to be open to whoever feels that way, you get to decide. It's your life. You get to decide. But I think the first thing is people actually need to figure out exactly what they want life to look like. Like, what do you want it to look like? And then link with other people who look like that and realize that the fucking race thing is a distraction. Like, it's literally a distraction that doesn't really play into your life. Like, it is not going to change anything. Like, you're not going to magically legislate racism away or prejudice away. They can pass all the legislation in the world and you're still going to be on the train and the white person don't want to sit next to you, or they don't want to get on the elevator with you, or they're going to pass you up for a job because you're begging them for a job at their company or where they have power. So that's not going to change because you can't legislate personal preference. You can't legislate how someone feels.
Sorry,
so you got kicked off?
I got kicked off.
So I think that's the main thing is like, define what you want. What do you want your life to look like? If it's white, if it's black, if it's mixed, if it's whatever, figure that out. And then realize that whole race war and the division and stuff is a trick, because we don't even have to bring race into it. Is it right or wrong for a person to be treated like this, black, white, or whatever? Because I heard that was something like a lady spit on a kid or something. And it was like a white lady spit on a black kid. And it's like, we don't even have to bring race into this, y'all. We could just say spitting is disgusting and you shouldn't spit on nobody. Whether she did it for racist reasons or not is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to take race out of it because the media is always going to put race into it. So take race out of it and say, is this okay for a person, black, white, or whoever, to be treated like this or be done like this? You don't have to bring race into it. Like, since they're trying to put it into everything, it's our job to remove it from everything and actually say, like, hey, guess what? We're just fucking human, y'all. Like, would you do this to anybody? Like, this should not be done to anybody, not black people. Like, if we have to take race out of it and stand on the fact that we're fucking human, we're not black people. We're fucking people, period. So let's just stand on being people. But we know y'all target the dark skins. But it don't matter because you shouldn't do that to fucking people. Like,
how long is it going to take our people to get on that place of thought and be willing to accept that, all right, we're willing to rebuild, we're willing to stop fighting over race and just be like, yo, we're just people now, because they still want their 400 years back. And there's no saying no to that because these people are tight. And, we all tight, but we got to start from somewhere. And if we're talking about like going from there, then we're talking about removing race as a whole thing. Like, there should be no race. It's just male or female male or female.
Maybe. You just got into a whole nother topic with that.
Yeah, we're not even going to. We're not even trying to do it right now. Not even trying to do it right now. But
no, but at the end of the day, race is not needed. You know what I mean? Like, race is relatively new. You know what I mean? Like, in the scheme of things. And then we try to act like all black people, because white people, Albion is relatively new. So before that, it wasn't like all black people, all dark-skinned people was getting along on the planet either. Like, so, and there was still division. So, like, division is not new. This is just a new line. You know what I mean? Like, so.
You know what? Division, fine. Eventually, if we all just people, we're all just people. It's gonna be a Hunger Games society, regardless, anyways, right? Somebody gonna be a king, queen. Somebody gonna want to rule over here. But like, oh, we all got king, queens. It's called the governor or the mayor, whoever is on top of each state. They all own that state. They make the rules for that state. And then they got the supreme leader. He's a president. Whatever BS. However people want to have it and be happy. It's fine as long as there ain't no races to playing against. Yo, let's pick this side. Let's pick this side. It should be like what's right or what's wrong. Like, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And that's something else. That's a whole nother education thing, because we have a republic form of government, which means that no matter what, you're supposed to have your basic rights. So no matter what legislation passed, what laws passed, there's certain rights that they shouldn't be able to legislate away.
Listen,
like,
they're gonna
but people don't even.
They're gonna amend it away. Amend it away.
But the 14th, anything from the 14th Amendment down is irrelevant because it conflicts with the first 13. So those not even, they can amend all they want. If you don't stand up and say, hey, that's bullshit, because we have this form of government, which they don't teach us in school. They tell us we have a democracy, which we don't. So, like I said, educate people. Dumb people are our problem. The masses are our problem, and that's why they invested in education. That's why they run the schools, because they want to keep people dumb.
Hey, listen, and when we're done with this fight on our black people, we got to learn to fight for ourselves, because it's going to be oppression versus the people. So this is only one stage of it. And I'm sorry, yo, you got to think about it like us in the blue states. We need to start thinking a little less like a blue state, which is all consumer, and start being more like as rural as possible. It's hard to say that for some people, because some people live in the city like Brooklyn. I came from Brooklyn. That wasn't even a thought in my mind to even want to be in the woods, like never. So like, because you're gonna have to learn eventually. This state, if we ever get into a civil war, New York gonna be one to fall. And niggas gotta get the hell out of it. And niggas gotta learn to survive in that kind of environment, right? Yep. There's enough food for all of us, but we got a lot of gangster men, them, They don't play by rules. They don't play by rules, and we all been so nice, and we're all afraid of guns. There's no gun education in the state because we don't even know how to protect ourselves versus the weapons that was made to protect themselves. Like, it's always was something, right? It was swords back in the day. It was bow and arrows back in the day. And they created guns from back in them days. So if it was even a fucking slingshot, don't matter. You gotta learn to protect yourself versus that slingshot. Yo, I'm sorry, son.
You got that's survival right there. Protection, food, water, shelter, clothing.
Food, water, shelter, and I don't want it to get to a point, but it might get to a point where it might be like, yo, riots ain't doing it. It might get to a point where, yo, all this ain't doing it. Where's Magneto? Where's this march? Like, let's start this shit right now. Like, I'm dead ass.
I'm working on my superpower right now.
One of them Farrakhan types about to rise up, and he about to start something.
The Farrakhan type is not gonna rise up. Anything that rises up is going to be someone they put in place.
If I see this, bro, I see this as a fact. If I'm not trying, I don't know, talk it in existence. But if Farrakhan go, it's over. There's no talking. Nobody's gonna talk. Nobody's gonna talk. It's gonna be all the black 2A people is gonna stand up. They're gonna march. It's gonna be just like the Panthers are. It's gonna be just like the Panthers, and everybody gonna be out there scattering last minute to get whatever they gotta get. I'm just saying, and it's gonna be time of like. There's gonna be time for people to stand up. We're gonna need the men to stand up.
and we need the women to stand at home because it's going to be that march. He's the only one who can start that to be like an instant race war, like real start a war, is if they took my man's out. And if they took my man's out, it's over. It's a problem for the black people.
Oh, it's gonna be, yeah. Now, if that happens,
all right. So you say it like that. So if he was out against his choice,
on that side, he unified the blacks and the browns, and that's real because that's like that's a long time fight. And we can't even do that in the East.
If they took Farrakhan out, that would be a good move if they trying to start the race war. If that's what they're really trying to do. That's some real shit.
But but at the same,
calls them out.
You said who called him out?
The Mans will call him out too if they ever would to, and he's not the one to stand down.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because, like, I mean, the fact that he's been able to be around so long, he's outlived everybody.
I feel like Farrakhan's halfway on the tape.
Yeah,
I think he's playing ball. I don't think that's going to stop them for if they wanted to use him to take him out. That's not going to stop them because hell, MLK was playing ball too, and they still took that nigga out when it fit the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but that would be a good strategy. That would be a good strategy if they was really trying to, like, because you forget the NOI is trained. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So if you take him out, you dealing with trained.
Yes, sir. They're not playing.
Yeah, you dealing with trained people. So that really would pop off the war. Like I mean, but then they could just drop a bomb and kill everybody. So I mean, that don't sound like a good plan either.
That don't sound like they're gonna do that either because they're gonna take their own people out.
They don't care. They take their own people out with McDonald's. Like what are we talking about?
They don't care. Like I said, if we had if they was gonna be a Magneto, it'd be somebody like him. And just to have someone, because have all those people like fall in line, not even just because we're all gonna, not that we're all gonna fall in line. The Warriors will, and then that's too much people already. And that's too much power for one person to have, just like Malcolm X.
I mean,
they'll be afraid of that. They'll be afraid of that one time. No joke about that. Hey, that's martial law business. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. They itching, man. Hey, let's call the National Guard. Let's shut every state down.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does the NOI have like tanks? As many tanks, you know what I mean? Like, cause we tanks going down the road. Like, what? It
don't matter. There's not enough. There's not enough National Guard as much as there is people. There's not enough people around. There would never be enough
but not trained people.
Yeah.
And as soon as they really start killing people, niggas is running back home. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I don't care what you say. But as soon as they really open fire on people, people's like, yeah, but damn.
You can't put a gun on everybody's hand either, man. You can't.
No, you can't.
A lot of people scared. A lot of people scared. They have history with gun violence, within their own people. That's one thing. That's another topic right there, because you gotta untraumatize people from their own,
and they got drones. They got drones. An armed war at this point is stupid as a strategy for Black people. I don't care what nobody say. That is a stupid strategy. We ain't got no drones. We ain't got no planes. They gonna cut off food supply.
They can't. Listen.
What are we talking about?
They can't beat the people fighting with sticks and stones and sandals across the world. They're barely winning. That fight. What makes you think they're gonna win a fight at home with people looking like you can't label an Antifa guy Antifa's who are domestic terrorists right now, right? They can't differentiate a regular person who's protesting versus somebody from Antifa based on what they're wearing.
Right.
That'll never be able to happen. Even if there was to ever be like,
but it don't matter. We'll shoot you all. What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've been bombing schools and hospitals. They might not have completely. This is the thing. In the Middle East, every time you bomb a school, a hospital, and people get killed that were not a part of the problem, you just create more fucking people that want to join the cause, and so it just keeps growing. But them niggas they not winning either. They still getting shot and bombed every day, and just more people keep joining the cause. So
I mean,
like, I don't think the average U.S. citizen is not built like that. They're not built like that. For the first bomb drop, these niggas not fighting. Maybe the white people, maybe the Albions, but not the black people.
yeah, and I mean, like, and I don't put it past them because I mean, they shoot up schools all the time. You think that's not on their watch?
Like, if they would do it over there, what makes people think they won't do it over here?
They already do it over here. They already do it over here.
I really doubt they've
been testing.
The whole country.
I don't think they will. Not the whole country, but they'll make an example. They'll make an example out of oh, y'all was gonna rise up. Oh, we gonna hit the. They bombed the homeless people in Philadelphia. These was like 40 black people just living in a building by themselves, saying we don't fuck with y'all. We on our own law, whatever. And they fucking blew that shit up. Like, well, you think they wouldn't blow up a couple hundred people who was really talking about an armed protest? And to send a message to anybody else that might be on that?
Because we could have a peaceful armed protest and we kill two birds with one goddamn stone. And it depends on
the demands for the peaceful protest. Like, what is success? What is success? That becomes the question.
What is a successful peaceful protest? I think everyone there, they show up, they protest, right? They pick up their own trash, they throw it out, boom, 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 or leave the bags, and they all go home. That's a successful peaceful protest in my eyes. Cops ain't got.
What did they accomplish?
Yeah, niggas had church. I mean,
we are the moral victory. That's the moral victory.
I mean, if a regular protest ain't getting heard, then a regular protest is just advising your First Amendment right, and it just don't mean shit anyways. It's just hot air.
Then it's a parade.
It's just hot air.
I'm gonna start calling protest parades.
What the hell they are? A lot of these protests are just parades.
They march to the governor's mansion here. Like, they march from like downtown, like 30-something blocks, maybe more, to the governor's mansion. The police cut them off about like a block or two short, and that shit was called a successful protest. Like, nigga, y'all didn't even make it to
y'all didn't even make it to the destination. No, hell no. That was
like no one got shot, no one got hurt. There were no incidents, and we were heard. Like,
who heard
nigga.
Y'all was recorded? Y'all was put on the news? Y'all got 15 minutes of fame?
Y'all just had a parade from downtown to the governor's, almost to the governor's mansion.
Y'all did it one time? Y'all did it just the one time? Y'all didn't do it again?
They did it one time. They did go and drive by the mayor's house at like 6 a.m. Like a car line of people drove through his neighborhood just honking horns, talking about, since y'all want to sleep on black, like, I forget what the little thing was. It's like, since y'all want to keep sleeping on what's going on, we gonna be y'all alarm clock today. It was like Sunday morning or something. They were just going through the neighborhood.
They should have came in like, no, they should have came in the military. So they should have came in at 4 a.m. and just wake their asses up a whole block.
But it was organized by Black Lives Matter, so I know that they knew, because it was two guys standing in his driveway. Like, by the time they got actually to his house or whatever, it was two guys standing in his driveway, like not in police uniforms, but come on. I was like, come on. But they were just standing in his driveway, so I'm like,
security.
Parades. That's what these protests are. They're fucking parades.
Well, that's what they're gonna be. They are breeding grounds for sickness, because I don't trust this COVID. You motherfuckers out here. I tell you, the revolution was never supposed to be televised. It was supposed to be, internal.
It's still not. It's not the revolution. It's not being televised. The real people doing real shit is not on. It's not on social media. They not talking about this shit. They doing shit.
And honestly, that's better that way, because
it is.
You broadcast everything. You just invite it to be co-opted, like a lot of these other things are.
It might be a tweet. We might tweet it.
Like, there's a one of the people I was supposed to have on, he's doing a food drive like next week or whatever, and I just invited mad people to show up. I kind of invited, I was kind of promoted like it was my own thing, but again, like, I'd rather us do like food drives or something that's actually giving back to the community than just like throwing a temper tantrum and having church in the streets and then going back to our lives doing the same shit that we've been doing.
Not to mention going to jail and then having to raise money to bail these niggas out of jail from people who already don't have money. Now y'all
Yeah.
asking for money to go bail them out. Like, yo, are we
So
crazy?
we're not trying to do another MLK? Because I mean, if we do have another MLK, he's going to jail a lot. Like he's.
They already had that person. He was wearing a blue vest. He was with Black Lives Matter the first go around. But anyway,
I don't even know these people's names anymore. But yeah. So the race war is a distraction at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's a distraction for the left and right.
Distraction.
Yeah, it's going to lead to another big thing. It's going to lead to another big thing where it's going to be all lives versus the totalitarianism and the tyranny that this government about to place on us. If they place it on us, maybe they might stop for a little bit. Maybe that bitch might come back. We just don't stop, right?
So we're about to wrap this up. What would be your final words for people that they're feeling a little flustered? They're not sure if they want to, pull up to the country club, ready to pop off. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get it cracking in the Bed Bath & Beyond parking lot.
Oh, ready. That store open too. Just open.
What would you say to that person, in regards to, what's going on, like the bigger picture?
I think you just need to know what your goals are. Like, and if stop acting out of emotion. Cause it might feel good to beat somebody's ass. It really might. You might get a good release out of it.
That shit feel
but it's not gonna lead to any change. So if you it's not gonna lead to any change. So I think people really need to start thinking again what they want life to look like, and start actually making a plan on how to get there. And you can't beg for shit, man. If you equal, then you equal, and you stand up and be equal. If you gotta ask somebody to give you shit, then you're not equal.
Hey, that's going from a conservative mindset. Hey, you gotta work for it. You gotta work for something. Don't just. A lot of people taking the easy out. So, hey, it's so easy to fall in line to this energy that we're creating. It's a herd thing. It's easy. Like, they fell into it. We got white people fall into it. Like, they're all for it. They far for more than we are right now.
Yeah,
They're not
benefits them
anymore. It sure do. I mean, what benefits us benefits them. They make all the money off of us. we the one what? We want to work, like, supply most of their fucking food chain.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I can say for my people, man, stock up, man. Just live. Like, live, have a drink, cool up your minds.
Man.
If you don't drink, yo, listen, take some time, reflect, meditate, get some deep breath in, man. Because we need it. Because we're going to need it.
Everything is mental.
Everything is mental.
Straight.
Well, we're not
take your mental back. Turn off the damn TV for a while, man. And actually go out and live in the world and see what's real and what's media created.
Media created a lot of things. Big facts.
So my final point is that this is definitely a psyop. This is definitely, an orchestrated war to kind of take your mind off of the real enemy that's trying to do the same things that, to infringe upon our rights to vaccinate our children, to kill our women.
Coming too, right?
Yeah,
and that's coming. We can't even. That's a whole nother conversation. I can't wait for that.
They want to vaccinate our children. They want to mutilate our our women, abuse them in the in the hospitals and stuff like that. They want to do all these things to just take our rights away, and make them their guinea pigs. The microchips and all the other shit. So it's not that these people are necessarily like our enemy. Like, we're not even the number one enemy for real. Like, they're not. Like, if you ask a white nationalist like who their number one enemy is, they're gonna say probably something that rhymes with news. So again, it's not even us. We're not even like their primary concern for real. But we're just being baited into this situation, being put against each other.
Yeah, we're just more ones and zeros added to the game. Maybe there's just too much of us.
Exactly. So they're just trying to, it's just about rising above it, realizing what it is. And I mean, I'm not saying, just, go about your life and not protect yourself. Like, nah, if you gotta pull somebody, you gotta peel somebody cap, you gotta peel somebody cap. It is what it is. But, just make sure that you're doing for yourself, you're doing for your family, and that you're being around like-minded people. This is definitely the time to galvanize among like-minded people that want the same things that you want. Like, definitely get on board with that, because you need to build these tribes for when things do pop off. Because the thing is, like, this race war is just a prerequisite to the real war that's going to happen. So even if this is the fake war right now, there's still a real one that needs to be had to, put everything at rest. So you need to prepare either way. And you don't want to be caught with some people that don't believe in what you believe in and, may turn on you. It's just a liability. Just be smart. So, Mr. Black Cesar, if people want to find you, where can they find you at?
You can find me on IG, Chaos Cesar. Might be a little hard to spell. Or you can find me on Facebook, Cesar Jenkins. I think I'm going to be switching over to that on IG. Just keep everything neutral, central. It's just easier for me. But you can find me on Facebook. Facebook easier. Cesar Jenkins. Catch me, talk to me. I'll be willing to answer some questions. And maybe you guys can give me some more foresight on things that I've missed, because there's a lot to talk about, especially this vaccination, because that's about to set up another whole can of worms. And there's going to be a lot of people out, and there's going to be a lot of people in, and it will create this new society around that. So, over. There's going to be outskirts, and I'm telling you, vaccinated people going to be in, and they're going to have rights to whatever. You're not out, you're out, you're going to have to figure out a way to get shit, and we're going to have a whole District 12 out here, so, I mean, we're part of real people, and, I don't know, son. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Microchips, that's... Imagine you have to pay with a swap in your hand, bro. I can't even fucking think of a world like that. I just think of the movie Gattaca when I think of
I remember that movie. Yep.
So it's such an old movie. Huh.
People should know where to find me by now. I'm on here like every other week at least now. I'm just like, no, but Ajaya Divine, you can still go check out my social media, even though I'm not currently active. It's a lot of good information still in there. But you can go to my website, www.ajayadivine.com. My podcast, Infinite Beings Unite. It's on Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. And my YouTube channel, all Ajaya Divine. It's real simple.
Oh my God, I'm over here surrounded with these successful entrepreneurs over here.
You can find me where you found me at.
Wow.
Make sure you like, subscribe, slander, cancel me. It is what it is. And I will be back with more content as I always am. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Ciao.
Peace.